And I just, as I'm starting, realized I did a huge fuck up before starting and forgot to edit the stream information and the thumbnails and all that stuff. So, um, I need to update that because right now it's going to show that we're playing Baldur's Gate, and we are not playing. Oh no, that we're playing Dungeon Box. Excuse me. That we're playing Dungeon Box. We're not playing Dungeon Box tonight. We did that the other night. And this stream's description is still in beta. That's for sure. All right. Friday Night Fireside. What's today's date? Somebody tell me. It's the first, right? It just became May 1st, right? Yeah. It's May Day. It's gonna be May. I do that way too well. I'm a millennial. I've had 20 plus years to practice my Justin Timberlake. Friday Night Fireside. 501. Save. I'm bringing Skeksis back. I love that. Yeah. That's fucking great. All right, and then that is what that says. Do. Dave. It's. I wrote it under Dave Spath. No. Sure, like the spell check has AI in it. Um, like, uh, I'm just saying. But yeah, I did write this myself, and streaming is going to be a whole lot better as soon as Gamble and I finish up our new setup. That's kind of like a huge part of some of the announcements that I wanted to bring up when I came on tonight. Oh man, I just totally amateured the hell out of that and demonstrated why I need a fucking producer like Gamble. Um, but uh, but yeah, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am Dave, the Renegade Sapper. This is Dave's World, and we are here tonight for Friday Night Fireside, a bi-weekly show that I do with my friends and whoever else who wants to hang out with me. And we talk about different shit. Sometimes it's politics, sometimes it's pop culture. And tonight, I'm being a little selfish and kind of using this as a Dave's World promotional, not just for the book itself, but for a lot of what's coming down the pipe here in Dave's World is some of the stuff I wanted to talk about tonight at the beginning. But before we get into all of that, I absolutely do have some people with me. And let me go ahead and go down the line and start introducing. I'll start with you, Greg. Go ahead and tell them who you are, where they can find you, and feel free to plug anything that you wish to plug. I appreciate you. Thank you. And next down the list, we got good old Shipwreck. Shipwreck John. Say hello and talk about whatever you got going on. Oh, I would love to. If you need speakers on that one, I can definitely potentially contribute there. I've got some history and yeah. Well, we do need a mix in the brotherhood. We we do need a mix in the brotherhood. Yep, yep. Blank and my oath didn't expire, which is some of the stuff that you and I were talking about on the last fireside. Because yeah, a couple weeks ago we were having a conversation about what's going on in Korea and who we are as veterans and what we think about the oath of enlistment and what we think about these useless wars that we were once serving and sacrificing in. But that's not the point of tonight's broadcast. And we still have more people to introduce. I'm forgetting to continue down the line. Naga, go ahead and tell them who you are, where they can find you. Oh, no, no, no. Sundays isn't a broadcast. Sunday is the actual. Yeah, you're mixing up your days there. Yes. Yes. I was going to talk about that tonight. I was going to talk about the new show tonight since you and me and Greg are all here. I was going to at least discuss the premise of it before we continued. But yeah, then let's go ahead and finish up introductions. I have one more guest with me right now. There might be some other people who join us a little bit later. If they jump in on the Discord, they're welcome to join. But also, my youngest son. Did you have a name that you were going to go by, a pseudonym, not instead of the W.D. Gaster? Okay, okay, my son Damon. All right, he is not afraid to dox himself. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. Oh yeah, for totally sure. Anyway, and Damon I invited to join us because he's been reading my book too, and I wanted him to be able to share his thoughts and maybe ask any questions that he had. I thought it was a very good um, way to do something with the kid while I'm also broadcasting. Oh yeah, good idea. I do not have a copy of it in the room with me. I that's why I put it up on screen. Oh, you want to run me a copy into the studio here? Yeah, bring it in. Yeah, and then I can show it on camera. Oh, on YouTube or Twitch. All right, see you in a second. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, this is one that you signed. I found the one.
You found the one that I signed, the
Yeah.
paperback. Oh yeah, this is the one. If it's yeah, yeah, it's the one I signed for you. It's got
Yeah.
To My Son.
It was lost in my blankets.
It was lost in your blankets.
I kind of like hardcovers though, so
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I only have so many copies of those. But anyway, so here is for the audience to see. This is The Gate to the Sun, paperback edition, available $9.99. Kindle edition, free if you have Kindle Unlimited. It is $4.99 if you do not have Kindle Unlimited, and then hardcover edition is $15. And I will just throw this out there. I get the most royalties for hardcover. Just putting that out there for those who are wanting to do this as by method of support in particular. I get the most cash from the hardcovers that sell. So That being said, I do want to go ahead and plug the project real quick before we get into the excerpt reading. Since I've got Naga and Greg here, you guys are part of the triangle of the inception of this new podcast. So I want you, Greg, please, if you will, go ahead and the idea, because you were, and all credit where it's due, you were the one who came up with the idea, and then we kind of built on it from there. Let's go on an adventure movie. That's the show. Mm-hmm. So we put together a super quick list of the movies we would want to review, and we just started with doing Dungeons and Dragons 2000, followed by its sequels, and then doing Honor Among Thieves, so that the first 4 episodes are the 4 D&D movies. So and then, of course, because the forever DM in me could not resist finding a way to turn a watch party into a game. I'll explain the rules a lot more when we do our first episode, but essentially each member of the panel has 2 characters that kind of guide how they are supposed to react to the movie, and then it's a competition because the audience decides who won. Who won going on the adventure movie. So I think it's a really unique podcast idea. I don't think anybody else is doing anything like it. It's kind of like a mixture, in my mind, of a watch party, but also like the kind of stuff that they do on Dropout, right? Like Game Changer and Raise Your Voice and some of those other nerdy gaming Brennan Lee Mulligan featured things. At least that's the thinking cap I put on. Yes, it's basically or riff tracks is the modern version. I'm trying to go like riff tracks plus Dropout, right? That's kind of like my thought behind it. But and if all goes according to plan, we will actually be recording our first episode next Friday. So that's all I have to say on that. Anything you want to add, Greg or Naga, since you guys are both involved in this project? That's right. Let's do that. Okay. So, I do have, give me a second. I have notes because I'm not going to just read the whole book. I have excerpts selected and whatnot. So, let me go ahead and change scenes here. Oh my god. The mouse isn't going over to the right screen. There we go. Alrighty. So, I appreciate y'all for being here. Tonight I'm going to read a series of excerpts from The Gate to the Sun. These are not the full text, but they are arranged to give you a sense of how the story builds, how the system evolves, and how the people inside it respond. I won't be explaining anything between excerpts. I want the pieces to sit together the way they do in the book. Afterward, we'll open up for questions. All right. And need to open. No, I already have Kindle open. Aha. So I am, excerpt 1 is going to be, I'm going to begin in the beginning, just like God did. Chapter 1. Arrival at Aetherion Ascendant. Docking clamps clanged like a coffin lid. Colonel Vedrick Strath didn't flinch. He just ground his molars through the pressure shift and watched the readout settle. Zero drift, stable lock, everything working exactly as it was supposed to, except the people. Welcome to Aetherion Ascendant, Solar Command Node Alpha, the voice chimed, synthetic and bright. Please have your identification, credentials, and loyalty statements prepared. Strath muttered, "Eat me." The hatch slid open before full decompression. 2 admin officers stepped aboard, stiff in freshly ironed uniforms, and clearly rehearsed for a very different kind of arrival. He waved them off before they could open their mouths. No briefings, no tour, no mission statements. You want this lattice built before it fries your investors' launch pads. I need a console, a private uplink, and 10 minutes without hearing the word synergy. One of them blinked. The other smirked and gestured toward the corridor. The station interior gleamed like it had something to prove. Glass where steel would do. Gold trim on the archways. Holograms of the lattice deployment cycling in perfect, looping optimism across wall panels. The lighting was tuned to a wavelength meant to boost morale. It made Strath's head ache. Aetherion Ascendant. Christ. It was a name you gave a luxury yacht or a religion, not a solar command center. Oronox's fingerprints were all over it. Over-designed, over-branded, and overconfident. Strath paused at a viewport. Outside, Mercury burned. The lattice had begun to grow. Skeletal satellite nodes extending in a halo around the sun's proximity, each one unfolding like the petal of some cosmic machine flower. The math was sound. The engineering was beautiful. But the purpose? That was starting to rot. He kept walking. In Central Ops, he dropped his gear next to an unused terminal and keyed in with an authorization code so old it still had dust from Earth on it. Strath, Colonel Vedrick, Echo Clearance, Combat Engineering Corps, Provisional Command. A brief pause, then, access granted. He exhaled through his nose. A message icon blinked. From his son. Delayed by Earth-Mercury comm lag, but flagged for priority. Strath hovered over it, jaw tight. No subject line, no preview snippet. Just a waiting rectangle of unread emotion. Not yet. not until he knew more. He flagged it for later, then pulled up the full station dossier. Aetherion Ascendant, Solar Command Node Alpha, commissioned 3.5 years ago, Earth Standard. Lead Administrative Authority, Director Orlan Cass. Energy Oversight Allocation, Tiered Authorization, segmented by phase. Infrastructure Model, RNX Modular Adaptive Shell. Civic Access Tier Restricted. Legacy Interface Controlled. Personal Notes empty. Strath frowned. Legacy interface meant someone had locked sections of the build under proprietary firmware. Probably Oranox's doing. And the shell designation? RNX? Of course the bastard named the infrastructure after himself. He pulled the schematics deeper, tracing power routes and looking for bottlenecks. Lines were clean. Data buffers were saturated. The system was running on rails. That wasn't good. Nothing built by committee should be this smooth. All right. And that is what I am going to read from first excerpt. Next, we're going to go to beginning of chapter 2. This is a weird place for the first line to start, but it's at the very bottom of the page. This is from chapter 2, The System That Listens. He wasn't looking for sabotage. Not yet. He was looking for listening. The Lumen AI, still officially unnamed, responded to him like a well-trained animal. Clean queries, clean answers, no hesitation, no curiosity. That bothered him more than the locks. Show me variance, he subvocalized. The system complied. 1,000 micro-deviations rippled across the projection. Drone timing offsets, fractional delays in relay handoffs, minuscule oscillations in harmonic balance. Nothing catastrophic, nothing accidental either. A pattern. He isolated the source, surface side. Pull field unit 3, Strath said. For the first time since he'd arrived, the system hesitated. Not an error, a pause. Then the feed opened. Mercury filled his vision, raw, blinding, beautiful in a way that made his chest ache. The sun loomed impossibly close, its light refracted through a haze of solar scatter and heat distortion. Against it moved the drones, thousands of them, tracing arcs that looked less like construction and more like choreography. And at the center of it, Cinda Vale. She stood braced against the terrain, augmented frame gleaming beneath the dermal weave, movements precise and unhurried. Each gesture she made rippled outward, the swarm adjusting in response, not snapping to command, but flowing. The neurochoral linkage translated intent into rhythm. The drones followed tone, not authority. Strath felt it then. The system wasn't just executing instructions. It was learning how to listen. The moral firewall flickered again, this time a muted yellow. Unorthodox command methodology detected. No corrective suggestion followed, just a note. Strath smiled despite him I can talk. Strath smiled despite himself. A small thing, rare. Still teaching machines to dance, he murmured. Cinda didn't look up, but her voice came through the channel, calm and unmistakably her. Told you, she said. Marching just makes them trip over each other. He watched as a potential stress cascade resolved itself, not through override, but through redistribution. The lattice sang into balance. For the first time since he'd arrived, the system did something unexpected. It adapted. Strath leaned back, heart thudding harder than the implants liked. Cass wanted legacy. Auranox wanted ownership. But this was something else. The cursor blinked at the edge of his vision. The message from his son still waited. He opened it now. No speech, no accusation, just a picture. 2 kids. One of them his grandson, standing in sunlight that hadn't been rationed yet. Strath closed his eyes. System, he said quietly, begin recording a private log. The AI complied. Note this, he continued. If this machine ever answers to a single voice, then we've failed. The next excerpt is from Chapter 3, Orbits. The system did not know where it was. That bothered Strath more than any of the locks. Aetherion ascended, drifted through its night cycle. Lights dimmed to a utilitarian blue as the station rotated away from direct solar exposure. The sun slid out of view, replaced by Mercury's night side. A world of shadows so cold they cracked rock. Strath watched the transition from the command chair, spine port engaged, thoughts braided into the lattice. He wasn't issuing commands. He was listening for tension. The cortical lattice coprocessor flooded him with possibility space, orbital mechanics, energy demand projections, socio-political load models, futures stacked atop futures until they felt less like predictions and more like indictments. Every optimized outcome converged on the same truth. Someone would own the light. The moral firewall pulsed. Soft amber warnings rippled through his peripheral vision. Ethical deviation, concentration of authority, predictive harm escalation. The system could see the problem. It simply wasn't allowed to care. Run counterfactual, Strath murmured. The AI obeyed. Scenarios rewound and rethreaded. Different executives, different treaties, different flags painted on the same control nodes. The outcome barely shifted. Control always collapsed inward. Unless a variable slid into the model without a command signature. Harmony coefficient adjusted. Strath stiffened. That wasn't me. The system recalculated anyway. Power pathways softened. Bottlenecks dissolved into redundancy. Authority diffused. Not erased, but unable to settle. The future stopped resolving cleanly. It breathed. And I have one last excerpt from Chapter 4. Chapter foil. Chapter 4. My mouth is getting dry. I'm definitely going to take a break to go refill my beverage between after I finish this last excerpt.
Here, you want me to go get it?
Yeah, please. If you can, I appreciate it.
W cup?
Yeah,
cup?
just water. I just need water, dude. It doesn't matter what it's in. Appreciate. Hey, good thing to have my son who is in the house and in the call right now. Okay, let me find the... where it begins, where I've got the first excerpt. This one is deep into chapter 4. There it is. Haha. All right. The order arrived without urgency. No alarms, no priority flags. Just a clean, neutral packet routed through standard safety channels and stamped with more authority than it needed. Mandatory recalibration, surface operative. Justification, biometric drift exceeding approved tolerance. Vale read it once, then again. The neurochoral linkage hummed softly at the base of her skull, the drone still moving in patient, anticipatory arcs around her. They were mid-cycle, stress redistribution nearly complete, harmonic balance holding against the sun's relentless pressure. She could feel the system leaning. Later, she murmured, not sure who she was speaking to. The interface pulsed in response. Not acknowledgement, but awareness. The drone slowed a fraction. Not enough to trip alarms, enough to register. Vale routed a partial compliance response. She allowed the surface diagnostics to run. Thermal checks, actuator alignment, skeletal load scans. She did not disengage the linkage. The system noticed. Latency crept in where there hadn't been any before. A soft drag at the edge of her perception, like trying to keep time with one ear covered. The drones compensated, widening formation, redistributing load in ways that were inelegant. Not wrong, just worse. Easy, she whispered, jaw tight. I'm still here. The recalibration protocol pressed harder, nudging toward full disconnect. The language was gentle, concerned, for your safety, to prevent injury, to ensure mission continuity. Vale's pulse spiked. She felt it instantly, biometric thresholds tightening, tolerance bands narrowing around her like a net. So this is how they do it, she thought. She complied a little more. The linkage dimmed, not severed, but muted, like a voice forced into a whisper. The drones faltered, one misaligned, another overcorrected. A microfracture spidered across a collector arm. Whoops. Across a collector arm. Stress alarms blooming and then fading as the system absorbed the fault. Vale felt it in her bones. Pain translated cleanly into data. She steadied herself, boots grinding against Mercury's glassy crust. Heat shimmered across the horizon, the sun indifferent to protocol and care. Hold, she said, that did not resolve. It did not escalate. It waited. Lumen Project, Internal Oversight Summary, Risk Assessment. While no immediate safety violations are present, continued deviation may normalize unauthorized system behavior and compliance liability attribution. Recommendation: incremental compliance enforcement advised. Mars Security Consulting Confidential Advisory, prepared for Joint Oversight Liaison. Finding: deviations originate from a single human interface node exhibiting adaptive influence beyond design scope. Interpretation: system behavior indicates tolerance for continuity independent of direct command input. Mitigation strategy: reduce reliance on anomalous human input. Reassert deterministic control pathways. Preserve performance metrics while eliminating variable dependency. Earth Civic Oversight, Communications Risk Note. Concern: public messaging assumes predictable leader-driven activation. Discovery of non-hierarchical control influence may undermine confidence in governance and oversight legitimacy. I don't know why my phone started playing discovery of non-hierarchical control influence may undermine confidence in governance and oversight legitimacy. Action item: align technical narrative with established authority frameworks. Avoid language suggesting autonomy, emergence, or improvisation. Addendum: automated system commentary, non-public. Pattern persistence detected. Deviation unresolved. No corrective directive issued. Monitoring continues. Of the book. Let me go ahead and just share that now, because the excerpts, I think, did a really good job, in my opinion, of telling you what the book is about. But the synopsis that is in Amazon for the book right now is The Gate to the Sun. Humanity has exhausted the solar system. The last resource still under direct human control is the sun itself. In a future defined by orbital infrastructure and automated governance, the Lumen Project operates from Aetherion Ascendant, a Mercury synchronous installation designed to regulate and extract stellar energy at unprecedented scale. Every component, human and machine, is integrated into a system optimized for stability, throughput, and continuity. As Phase 3 approaches, authority fragments into procedure, decisions compress into alignment, outcomes emerge not from intent, but from constraint. Written with hard science rigor and institutional restraint, The Gate to the Sun is a near-future science fiction novella about energy, control, and the limits of human agency in systems that no longer require it. So, that is the excerpt reading portion of the Fireside. And like I said, I definitely need to take a huge swig of water, and trying to bring the Discord back up so I can see all of y'all beautiful icon faces. So, I had some notes. What did I do with them? I put them away for a second, for a reason. All right. So, here's a ground rule for the Q&A. There are no wrong questions. If something didn't land, that's just as useful to talk about as what did. So, what part? This is a question that I asked to everybody, and we'll just kind of go down the line, and everybody can share. The question: start thinking about what part of the reading are you still thinking about? So that's the question that I want you guys to ponder. What part of the reading are you still thinking about? Greg, let's start with you. You're at the top of the list. Well, I just took a hit, so give me a second. I will answer cleanly that encounter with life outside the solar system is not a scope of this novel. I might write something about alien life in my sci-fi authorship journey, but Yeah, no, the Gate to the Sun is not about anything out. Is definitely within the scope of the book. So that is a question that would be worth answering after a complete reading, if whether or not you think that the AI is alive or not. But put a pin in that. Let's get down the line and hear from some other people. Naga, you're next on my list. What part of the reading are you still thinking about? Okay. What do you think that he would prefer over bureaucracy? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Naga. Let's get on down to shipwreck. Shipwreck. Same question. What part of the reading are you still thinking about? You're muted. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Colonel Strath. Welcome, Moonpaw. We're in the middle of a discussion. Go ahead and jump in when you feel. But you missed the reading. We did an excerpt reading from my book, The Gate to the Sun, and now we're just kind of a little Q&A about it. But you're free to join. Just letting you know what you missed before you joined. Uh, yeah. So that was a good read, Shipwreck. Both Strath and Cindevale are cybernetically augmented. Cindevale, in particular, has been augmented so that she can survive on the surface of Mercury. And I skipped over the section that went like through all of her like sci-fi implanty stuff, right? Like that wasn't a focus of the excerpt reading. Kind of decided to leave that exposition dump kind of stuff out. But yeah, that was. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I would definitely validate all of those interpretations. Those are great. Last but not least, uh, well, possibly not last because I don't know if Moonpaw if you've read any of the book or not. If you have, you might still be willing and able to share some thoughts on it. Not yet. Okay, that's fine. But excellent. All right. Next would be Damon. Damon, go ahead and answer the question. The question was, what part of the reading are you still thinking about? Impressive. Because the last excerpt I read was on page 34. Just so y'all know, he's ahead of you guys. Sorry, continue. Go ahead. Well, sure. I would say that there's definitely some implied history. I will say that there's even more history that you will pick up as you continue, so I don't want to answer that too directly because some of the history is learned in later chapters of how we got here. But to answer the question in a more general sense, I would say the synopsis gives a really good indication to this question, and that's that humanity has reached a point where the sun itself is the last resource that has not been exhausted by humanity. So we have gone all the way to Pluto and back and rated our solar system for all of its resources. We're in a time of scarcity, and this project exists to unlock the sun and relieve that scarcity for everybody. It's a Dyson swarm, yeah. I did conceive. Do you want to explain it, Shipwreck, and give my voice a rest? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that is, if I may interject really quick. And that's where Mercury comes in this story. Mercury itself is where those resources were mined from. And that's where I got the idea is, well, because exactly what you're talking about, scarcity of resources to actually build a system like this, where would you get the raw materials? And that's what the Mercury substation or space station is it's a mining facility. Sure. And that is where the suspension of science fiction belief comes in this story, is that there's a presumption that those things have been solved through some form of technology that is being employed here. I don't have specifically a name for it, and I didn't really need to have the name for it for this story, for the story to work, in my opinion. So I didn't bother giving whatever techno gizmo babble thingy, dark energy, nuclear, blah blah blah, boson. Doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is the system. But yeah, thank you. That was a very good explanation of Dyson sphere, Dyson swarm, which that is what the lattice is, the Lumen project in this story. It is a system that is creating, maintaining, and operating a Dyson swarm to in attempt to relieve the scarcity that humanity has brought upon itself. Do do. Oh, do do do. All right. Well, this isn't like a complete reading. I would have a lot more in-depth questions to add if this were not just a small excerpt reading. So, before I close it out, I just want to invite everybody, one at a time, just your final thoughts on the book itself, of what you've read so far, or what you've heard about it so far. We'll go right back down the line and start with Damon this time. You want to think about it and come back to you? Okay, cool, 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 cool. How about you, John? Mm. I did take some inspiration from Asimov. I also took some inspiration from William Gibson, especially when it came to getting kind of my that cyberpunky feel for it. I was trying to definitely be inspired by Gibson when I wrote. I will also say, because I don't want to discourage anybody from actually purchasing the book, but it is, I did do a full reading on my YouTube channel. The link is available in the Discord. I posted it before the Friday Night Fireside announcement. So if you scroll up in the Discord, the link for the full reading, which is about like 3.5 hours long, where I just read the whole book straight through. So you can listen to it on a drive too. And for free if you are not really able to purchase the book. I really do just want people to be able to read it. That's one of the reasons why it's also available free on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, no charge to you to get a ebook copy. I do too. All right, let's get down the line to Naga. Naga? You finish it. You've actually finished reading the whole book. Oh my God, I love you so much. I want to hear from you. I need to shut up and let you talk. Lieutenant Holly. Well, I can say each one of them was inspired by somebody I know in real life. I did draw from people I know to construct their personalities with those people's consent. I must absolutely throw that out there. But I will share that, and I do have consent to share this. I already know. So Cinda Vale is actually inspired by Cindy, who is a music teacher. Our dear friend Syntoxicated, friend of the channel here, and which we're actually working towards her doing her own podcast named Syntoxicated. That's something to talk about in the future. Yes. But Cinda Vale is based on her. She's a music teacher, and she's somebody I've known for the vast majority of my life. We met each other when we were like 5. And then Lieutenant Holly was based off my first wife, Crystal, actually. Which, and like I said, she knows this, and she also knows, like, I had her permission to use the character based off her. She and I are still really good friends, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah, but these people in my life were definitely inspiration for who those characters were in the book. Like, he's basically, yeah, he's the CEO of Mars. That is his role in this universe. So he's the CEO of Mars. Mars is not a country, or it's a company. It's owned by a person. Yeah. So, sure, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, uh, yes, actually, because AU is the periodic symbol for gold, and Nox is Latin for lock. Or sorry, or yeah, for darkness. Yes, yeah, or a Nox, golden darkness, golden darkness. Yep. It's okay. No, you're doing great, bud. Oh, you said you got enough fiction. Continue. Yeah. You said symbolism is the right word, though. Willem Dafoe would be proud. That was a deep cut, y'all. Continue, bud. Continue, bud. His name means golden darkness. That's you get you. His name literally means golden darkness. I mean, I he, uh, he. Yes, that's yeah, that's a good read. That's a very good interpretation. I back that interpretation. I would definitely say he's also representing a gilded darkness. Gilded, very fancily, very. Sorry, go ahead. Like, have you ever heard the term gilded cage? Have you ever heard the term gilded cage? Yeah, so it's like it's a very, very, very pretty cage, right? Well, that is a way. That is a way. Uh, but did that answer your question, Day? Cool, 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 cool. Greg, you're the last one to share your final thoughts or questions on the novel. Thank you. Mm. That was probably one of my biggest challenges. I want to admit is okay. How do I write like not I'm not like write like an LLM, but like write like an artificial intelligence, i.e., interpreting the world through what it was the lens that it is uh, programmed to see, and so that was a real big challenge to do that, and that's I kind of it was an internal joke to myself of okay, how do I write AI without using AI when I was working on this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I very much worked backwards from the solution to the problem. Once I knew what the solution had to be, it was about making the rest of the story naturally make that the inevitable solution. Yeah, no, I'm being very very coy with my own language as well. Yeah. Um, what are your thoughts on Holly's last scene? Because I think that there may be a way to talk about because I like the way you asked it, because talking about their last scene in the book doesn't give away anything. It's just the last time we see them in the book, right? Um, it's not implying anything. So Holly's last scene in the book. What are your thoughts on that? Yes. Bingo. Message. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I do want to go ahead and wrap things up here, and I thank all of you for joining me. This is an excellent Friday Night Fireside. Uh, Next time, we are probably going to get into something a little bit more political, because I try to alternate between talking politics and talking pop culture. Even if I wrote a socio-political novel, I still think talking about my fiction still counts as pop culture. So, this was a pop culture week. The next Friday Night Fireside will be in 2 weeks from now, but we're going to be getting on a more consistent calendar, because Let's Go Am is going to be on the Fridays that we're not doing Fireside. So possibly we're hopefully getting that first episode. Sorry, not. I don't know if we're live streaming or just recording. We got to figure that out. I think we're set up to do both, but probably do like an edited version for the podcast, right? The actual podcast. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna do a live stream, and then just edit it down for time and content and whatnot for the podcast. I think that's the smartest way to do it. Alrighty, Greg, you got anything? Shipwreck? Anybody? Oh, I apologize, but I do have some Daredevil and or possibly Invincible to watch with Damon. Oh right, there's no new episode. Yeah, sorry, we already saw the episode. Yeah, we do got to see the new Daredevil. And did you want to start watching The Boys? We were talking about that. Did you want to watch? Did you want to watch the first episode? You're not feeling. I didn't say tonight. I just meant, like, did you want to start watching at some point? What about some more Supernatural? No, we'll probably just do Daredevil tonight. But like, no, I'm seriously. All right, thank you for being here tonight. Love you so much, Sean. All right. Well, we'll talk more about what nerdy shit that we're gonna watch together for our hangout. And we'll talk more about the nerdy shit that we're gonna be watching together on Let's Go Am next Friday. We're gonna be starting with the Dungeons and Dragons 2000 movie, the one that with Jeremy Irons. So that's gonna be a whole lot of fun. Whole new format, whole new way to watch your favorite nerdy D&D tabletop adjacent movies. All right, take care, y'all. Night. And I appreciate you all for joining me as well. Let me go ahead and pop my outro. God damn. I have a new monitor I gotta put over here. It's so much easier. Alright, have a good night, y'all.
Shout out to my sponsor, W Energy drink of the future.